Okay, I guess this much only will join. Okay, we will start. Hello everyone, I am Rajan Prajapati. I am currently working as software developer in TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. So today I will be taking the session. So today we will cover basics of Python, OOPS concept, Python data structures, along with your week 3 assignments. So let's start. My screen visible? Okay, that's good. So what is Python? Python is an open source object oriented programming language. It was developed by Guidi van Rossum, released in 1991. So Python is a platform independent language, which means we can run the Python code on any of the operating system, whether it is Windows, Linux or Mac. What Python can do? We can create web application with the help of Python. We can create database system. We can connect database. We can create and handle big data and perform complex mathematics also. So coming to variables in Python, see, in Python, we don't need to initialize variable with their data type. Like in Java or C++, we do like int a equal to 5. In Python, we don't need to add those data type. In Python, we can directly use the name of the variable like x equal to 5, y equal to John. The Python will automatically treat x equal to 5 as an integer and y as a string. Okay. Coming to data types in Python, so there are different data types, but the main data structure which which are currently most important are, will tell you, list, tuple, set, and dictionary. So can anybody tell what's the difference between array and list? If anybody knows, anybody? Okay, no issue. I will tell you. In array, we need to define the size of the array. Like in C and C++ and Java, you have seen like we need to define the size of the array. Like we have to create a array for 10 integers, then we have to define its size as 10. And in array we can only store a single type of data, means it only stores homogeneous type of data. Like if you want to create an array for integer, then all the elements present in the array should be integer only. But in Python, in list we can store heterogeneous type of data, whether it is boolean, integer, string, anything else we can use in list. And in Python, list is dynamically expanded, which means we don't need to add any size for that. It can automatically increase or decrease its size as per the code. Okay. Other thing is tuples. Tuples are also like list, but we can't change once tuple is declared. In list, we can change the size, but in tuple, once tuple is declared, we cannot change the size of the tuple. Tuples also store heterogeneous type of data. See, the tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. Okay. Next is Python set. We have heard set in mathematics, like set stores only unique values. In set, we can't have duplicates values. So set is also a built-in data type in Python, which is used to store collection of data. Sets are unordered and unchangeable. Coming to Python dictionaries. Python dictionaries are same as hash map in Java, which stores key value pair. For every key, there is a value and it is unique. Okay, for every key, there is a value, and we cannot have duplicate keys. All the keys should be unique. A dictionary is a collection which is ordered, changeable, and do not allow duplicates. Okay, coming to Python classes. As we know, Python is an object oriented language. So it should we should use the classes and all. So in Python, we create class with class variable with by the name of the class and a colon. After that, we can do everything, all the logic. For accessing this class, we can use we can create an object of that class like this by creating a variable and calling its class, and we can call all the when the class is created. You might have heard in Java that when the class is created, the constructor is automatically called. Okay, so what is constructor? Constructor is an instance of the class which is automatically called when the class is created. So in Python, the init function works as a constructor. The constructor stores all those fields variables that you are required to call the class. So for example, you can see here it is a class person inside which we call a constructor, and their name, age. Those are the two variables that we will use to create an object of this class. Okay. And the next is self. You might have heard this parameter and self. Self is nothing, it is used to access variable that belongs to the class. Once you have defined a constructor, then you need to add self in that for accessing that particular variable inside the class. You can't directly call those variable inside the class without the use of self. Okay, so any doubts, guys? Any doubts? Yes, no, anything? Am I audible, guys? Okay, okay. Self. Okay, coming to self. Self acts as a current instance of the class. Means once the class is created and the constructor is called, one variable is there that is called self. Okay, so suppose you have to access name and age, okay, to another function. Okay, so in that you can't directly access name in the other function because it's inside the constructor. For accessing those variables, you need to use self, like self dot name equal to name, and there is no need for making it self, calling it self. You can call it anything. It's like usually we use self. So without self means like you can use other variable as well, like my silly object they have used in place of cell apc or all. It's mostly used to access the variables that are declared in the constructor to access those variables. Okay, so clear, Sukanya? Got it? Okay. Okay. Okay, now coming to file handling. File handling is the most important part while dealing with any of the web application or any project we are developing. So in Python, usually there are four types of operation performed on a file. One is read. With read function, we can read the data inside the file. Append, we can append the particular data after the completion of that data available in the file. Suppose there are 100 words available in your file and you want to append data after those 100 words, then we can use append. And write, if your file, suppose your file is empty, so for writing the new word in the file we can use write method. And if you want to create a new file, you can use create. All these methods are called using these variables. Like for read we use r, for append we use a, for write we use w, and for create x. Suppose you want to access a file that is unknown, suppose it is binary. So in Python by default it read as text, but suppose you want to read binary data, So for reading that binary data, we have to add a particular variable b, which represents that the file contains binary data and you need to read binary data. So the syntax for opening the file is, we use open and the path of the file. Okay, sub C. In this, the first parameter is path of the file. The second is in which mode you want to open that file. Suppose here it is RT. It means read text. Means you have opened that file in read mode. Okay. Similarly, if you want to write the file, then we use W in place of R. See here in open with the W, write access. In this way, if you want to delete a file, we can use os.remove function. And once you have opened the file, it is mandatory to close that file as well. So for closing that file, you have to use f.close, the variable that you have used for creating a variable. I will show you that as well. See here, f.close. With this, you can close your file that you have opened. There are the Python. Okay. Any doubt till here? Anyone? No. Okay. So this was the basic Python. See, I can't cover like. Okay, okay, got it. Okay. What's lambda function? Okay, I will explain that as well. So in Python, there is one lambda function. Lambda function is, in short, it is called anonymous function. In lambda function, we can have any number of arguments. Like we can have any number of input, but it will give only one output as an expression. The syntax for the lambda function I will show you. See, the syntax is lambda, the arguments, and what the output expression you want. So in this, you can see we have called lambda using lambda keyword, and we have given one argument. And what the output we want, a plus 10. So what the function will do, it will take one input a and it will add 10 in that. Similarly, here it is called only, it has called only one variable, and you can call here two as well. So lambda function can accept any number of argument, but it will result only one expression as an output. You can see here lambda function take a, b, and c, but the output is always one expression, a plus b plus c. Okay. Any doubts in that? It is cleared, Mahesh? Okay. So I can complete whole Python in this limited time. So I have covered the basics of Python. And if any other topic you want to, oh sorry, I missed oops concepts. I'm so sorry. Okay. So here comes the Python inheritance. Sorry, oops concept. The first is inheritance. So the inheritance allow us to define one class. Okay, and it is called parent class. Okay, so in inheritance, we first declare one parent class, and then we create child class, and all those methods that are available in parent class can be accessed from the child class. This particular concept is called inheritance. So the syntax for using inheritance is, we create one class. Sorry, this is not okay. We will create one parent class, and we have defined the constructor. We have called a method print name. Okay, so now we will create a child class. The syntax for creating child class is, we will create the name, student, and we will write the parent class inside the brackets person. Okay. Another one important part is the pass keyword. Whenever we declare a particular function or class in Python, we create it using colon. Okay, after entering colon, we can't state sorry can leave it as empty. So instead of leaving it empty, we use pass function. Pass is just a null keyword which is used when we have to do nothing for in that function or in that class. So similarly, in this particular child class, we are just using pass keyword because we don't want to do anything inside this child class. Okay. The another concept is polymorphism. Polymorphism simply means many forms. Like we are just performing same action, sorry, same name and performing different action with the same name. So we can see the name is length. Okay, suppose there is a function length. This function length we can use in any data type. Okay, for string, if you use length in string, it will return the length of the string. And in the same, if you use length in tuple, it will return the number of element available inside the tuple, not their length. So the name is same, but the it functions different as per the data type. And in dictionary, it will return the number of key value pair available. So polymorphism simply means many forms for a particular function. Error handling, okay, exception handling. So in Python, there we use four types of keywords in exception handling. Like first is try block, in which we use all our test code which is to be tested, and if it throws error, then we use except. In except, we throw the error that particular try failed. Suppose we try to divide 1 by 0. So in except, it will throw zero division error. And if we want to throw multiple errors, like in try we have provided one test code, and it can throw two types of error, so we can use except two times for multiple errors. And if you want other code to work, like first try test logic and accept it throw error, and the other thing, like if we have used if and else, so in else part we can use the else rest of the rest of the code. And in finally block, the finally block always executed whether it is error, whether it throws error or not, is function always executed. Taking user input, in Python we can use multiple type of user input. Suppose you want to take input string, so we can use simple input function, and it will take the input from the user as a string. And if you want to take integer input, so you need to add int outside the input function, then it will act as a integer input. Rest other are the NumPy modules that will take a lot of time. So any doubts still here, or you want to cover any other topic? Anyone? Okay. So this was the basic Python. Coming to your week 3 assignment, I'll share you the screen. Okay, yes. Guys, screen visible? Okay, so in week three, you have to create three projects, small projects. Okay, I will explain you one by one. So in first, you have to create a Python project in which you will be managing personal information, including names and DOB. Okay, so you have to, just a second, guys. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Yeah, it will be there in the GitHub repository. Yeah. Okay. So the first problem statement is you have to create a Python project for managing personal information with Python. So in this, you have to develop this particular project using the class concepts only, and it will be a console based project only. You don't have to create any user interface and all. This will be in console only. So what's the requirement for this project? So you have to write a class which takes input from the console, the name of the person, his or her date of birth. Then when the person name is typed, it should display the DOP. Okay, so the main functionality is when the person will enter its name, okay, enter its name and DOB, you should display its name and DOB when the search criteria is called. The second point is some persons DOB are secret there, so those should not be displayed, but it should be stored. If a secret person name is entered, then you should just display secret. Okay, I will explain you. Okay, so how the class definition will work. You have to define a class to handle the management of person information. Okay, the class should utilize the following functionalities. First is adding new entries with names and date of birth. The first choice for the user will be adding new entries with name and date of birth. The second functionality will be searching for entries by name and displaying the associate date of birth. Okay, so suppose the second choice is search by name. Okay, so if the user choose that choice, you should ask its name, and if the user provide its name, then you should display its date of birth. Okay, you will display date of birth. But if the date of birth is secret, then you have to show secret, means you don't need to show date of birth for that person if its name is secret. So this will work like this. There will be three choices. First will be adding new entries, username and date of birth. Second will be search criteria with name. Third will be the exit. If the user choose one, then you have to take username and date of birth from the user. Okay, second, if the user choose search, then you have to ask the user for its username, and you have to display its DOB. And with that, if the DOB of that particular person is secret, then you don't have to show the DOB for that. You have to keep it secret. The message should come. The DOB of the user is secret. So the file should contains. Sorry, the GitHub file structure should be like that. Problem one data file. In this pickle file, you will store the database. Okay, so all the data that is available, that the user will provide your name and you have to store all these in a pickle file. And the second will be problem solution code for the problem statement, above problem statement. Okay. Any doubt in the problem statement one? Anyone? Any problem? Any doubt? You can check in Google. You will get this how to save in pickle. It's not a big issue. Okay, I will just tell you how to do that. Wait a minute. Yeah, you have to like Google it or YouTube. You have to sort this. Like it will help you in your learning as well. How to store data in pickle file. Okay, coming to problem statement 2, you have to create a address book management project. In address book management, you have to create an address class. It will take input as first name, last name, street address, city, state, country, mobile, and email. Okay, so the flow in this will be, okay, the functionality will be, first you have to add contact details. Like you have to allow user to input contact details including first name, last name, street address, city, state, country, mobile, and email. You have to ensure uniqueness for email and phone numbers while allowing duplicates for other fields. Okay, you have to save enter data to pickle file and maintain a count for each field occurrence. The second functionality will be delete contact details. You have to implement a function to delete contact details based on user input. You have to provide options to delete contact by name, email, or phone number. And the third functionality will be update contact details. You have to create a functionality to allow users to update existing contact details based on specific fields. Okay, you can provide options to update information such as address, phone number, or email. The fourth functionality is search contact details. In this, you can search for contact by various fields such as first name, last name, street. You have to use all the Python data structures to implement this file. And the first thing, the function to find number of occurrence of first name, you have to add this functionality as well. Function to find number of occurrence of last name. Third is function to find the number of occurrence of a street. All these tasks you have to create inside a single function only. The file structure for this is a problem to data.pickle file in which the all the data will be stored, and the problem solution.py in which the solution will be there. You must ensure all the below points. User input should be taken. Proper error handling will be ensured using try and except with proper message. Code will be converted into a functional class wherever needed. You can use optimization wherever it is required. Unwanted for loops, unwanted exception handling, you can remove them and you can optimize your code. You have to provide proper validations from user input. If the username is incorrect, like email is incorrect, contact number is less than 10, and it is invalid, exceptional characters are coming in username, then you have to provide that input validations as well. Incorrect input will be retrieved three times. After three attempts, the user will exit the function. You have to provide a limitation for that. Like after three unsuccessful attempts, the user will exit the particular function. Okay. Any doubt in this? Anyone? Anyone else? Any doubts? Oh, okay. You can, if you try to use chat gpt, then it is not a problem to using chat gpt, but I would suggest you not to use chat gpt, because in interview, if you are not able to explain what you have done, then it will create a bad impact on the interviewer. So don't try to use chat gpt, try to solve as your own. It will help you in your learning only. Okay, anyone else, any doubts? And if you try to use chat gpt, then Deepak Chawla will take your interview. Then you have to explain all the things where the things can go bad for you. So I would suggest you not to use chat gpt and other AI platforms for use creating these Python projects. So anyone, any doubts and all? No doubts? Okay then. Okay, I think now it's done. And tomorrow's session will be doubt session. So try to work on that problem statement. And if you have any doubt, you can ask in the doubt session tomorrow. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining.